Hey guys, today we'll be going over the construction of a cheap cable machine, whether it's worth it for you, pros, cons, and for the most part first impressions. So as I get more used to using this, I'll probably go over different points regarding maybe potential upgrades to make it more usable, drawbacks, common failure points. Just looking at this, you can probably see a couple things that would maybe go wrong first. And whether it's worth it for you. Also, heads up for you guys, most of the bolts on this machine are 17mm. So, if you're going to use an impact, don't. I would advise it. Or low setting, 17mm. There is an exception for some of the bolts. So, these here. And there's another somewhere else. Those are 19mm. So, yeah. For any of you who are thinking of buying one of these things, I can't yet advise you as to whether you've made a good decision or not. Just gonna cover some things in the instruction manual because nobody reads it. One of them is that the maximum weight, the maximum user weight is 120 kilos. I don't quite know what this means for this thing. I'm going to guess that's the max weight you can actually put on, because otherwise, unless you're climbing this thing, I don't think it's that applicable. But yeah. Okay, so you may be wondering why I chose to do this. Gyms exist, they're not too expensive. What's the point? And that's a good question. So, first off, I live in the middle of nowhere, and as such, my nearest gym is realistically only about 20 minutes away. So I don't really live in the middle of nowhere. However, you've still got to account for driving, and I'm kind of girl mathing this a little bit. So, the upfront cost for all of this, the machine itself was £140. I managed to get some used grips for 30 or just shy of that on eBay. Not these ones, these came free and they do suck. So those should arrive in a few days. And the weights themselves, these are concrete weights. These cost me, I think, about £5, and I've got many more of them, but we'll just assume they cost £30. So, factoring that in, this thing costs around about £200. Now, comparing that with a gym membership, which is £21.99, or for my gym specifically anyway, my gym's a 20-something mile round trip. And assuming fuel costs of, I drive a diesel, so that's £1.40 a litre, give or take. With any luck, that'll go down, but if you're watching this in the future, probably doesn't. So that's honestly only about £2.50 a round trip in fuel. So accounting for the fact that I'm probably going to be going to the gym 3-4 times a week, that does slightly increase cost, but not greatly. So that brings it up to around £45 a month, accounting for everything, including tyre wear, and I'm not factoring in my time, but I do like having free time. And as a student, any free time is nice. So the break even for this machine is actually only around 3, 4, 5-ish months. This was mostly put together by looking at the images and just kind of guessing as to how it actually came together, which clearly worked out in the end, at least so far. It hasn't fallen apart just yet. However, it took quite a while swapping different bolts. I messed a couple of them up, so I had to take it apart again, put it back together, but here we are. Also, the instructions stated that these pulleys need to go on first. They do not do that, and you're taking them all off again. That's alright though, we actually have it put together. So, first impressions. As you can see, this isn't actually mounted up to a wall yet. You're currently in my kitchen, which I hope I'm kind enough to remember to blur out most of the background for, as a service to us both. So yeah, right. So the machine itself, I'm going to angle you a little bit better, I think. Otherwise, you're not going to see anything, are you? There we go. How's that look? Really weird in hyperview. That's okay. So, the machine I bought actually came with grips. They're pretty bad, but I honestly wasn't expecting it to come with anything, so I'm pretty happy with that. What else? So, this, you pull out to move it,